So who's chair?
Yeah, so who does call?
You got it, bud. I'd like to call the meeting, finance meeting of October 29th to order at 5:32. Roll call.
Cindy Kirchhoff, Mark Garceau.
Mike Uber.
Peter Nero.
Joe Jackson.
Here.
So this being the first meeting, Cindy has an agenda kind of mapped out here. She'll provide some updates from the finance department. You should have, the school committee members all should have received the calendar, the budget calendar from Rose. We can take a look at that. There'll be some discussion of policy revisions that may make sense for us going forward. We'll talk about the meeting schedule, any future agenda items, and then go from there. If there's nothing else, Chair Nero, I will turn it over to Cindy.
You made it easy for me, thank you.
Okay, so just some quick finance department updates. We are fully staffed in the finance department. It is myself and 2 finance assistants. However, one of those staff members continues to process school payroll, but is also training town staff on that payroll. So that will continue, I believe, for at least a few more months until the town fully takes over payroll. And in other finance department news, so we are underway in the budget process for FY27, and at the same time, we are undergoing our audit for fiscal year 25. We are projected to complete that at the end of December with an issuance either end of December or early January. For finance department. Next, I just wanted to put on the agenda financial reports. I know at the last school committee meeting, I did provide a new financial report that included some detail, also expenditures for all funds. I plan on producing that report monthly for the committee. The next report will include some further projections. So that's the update on that. And also I have a question for the committee. Are there any other financial reports that the committee is interested in?
Not yet.
Not yet. Or as I generate future monthly reports and you know, there may be certain areas or certain funds that you're interested in.
Might just ask for drill downs now and then, yeah. But making it something that's consistently required, I don't think there's anything I can think of.
Can I ask a couple of questions? So who does our audit?
CBIZ,
Okay.
formerly Markham, CBIZ purchased
And
Markham.
do we share with the town on the audit, or are we on our own audit?
We are combined with the town.
And we split it 50-50 in terms of the cost, or do they pay it all?
No, the school is allocated a little bit less.
Okay.
Due to the volume, and then the school does pay separately for the auditor's review of our uniform chart of accounts that's required.
Excuse me.
And I just want to clarify. Past budgets, current budget and past budgets are online for our review. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. So I don't know how far they go back, but I think they go back pretty far. So if you want to look at it, you can go back on your own and compare the budgets, what they may want. So you don't have to necessarily ask. It's there, you know, you may want to ask exactly where it would be.
And there are during the budget process, there are reports that have now been provided year after year, whether it's upon school committee request or finance board. Like, for example, there's a report where I show year over year the total budget, the local appropriation history, the state aid history. So a lot of that reporting that has been added, we continue to update on an annual basis.
Joe, any questions? Continue.
Next, I have fiscal year 27 budget. I did give you all a copy of the budget calendar, which we received this morning from the town. So our first deadline was October 1st, submission of capital improvement projects, which we have done. The next submission due date is on or before Saturday, November 1st. The town will submit to us projected revenues for the next 3 fiscal years, and we will submit to the town an estimate of our expenditures and revenues for the next 3 years. So I'm working on that process now, knowing that we haven't gotten into the budget detail yet. It's more of a high level estimate moving forward. So we know with those projections that as we go through the budget process that they are going to be changed. But one of the main purposes of this is to, from the town side with projected revenues, to let us know their anticipated revenues so we can look at our request. Does that seem reasonable? And to see that the town revenues, are they going to remain consistent? Are there any significant changes? And then the same on the school side. If we're projecting any significant changes, we would know that by now, and this is how we would.
So you would know, for example, healthcare, when will you find out about what healthcare will be?
Healthcare, we don't receive final numbers sometimes until late spring, towards the end of the budget process.
Mm-hmm.
However, based on history and the monthly reporting that West Bay sends to me, I come up with an estimate. I think last year we ended at 9% and I had budgeted 10%. So as of right now, I'm hoping that number will be a little bit lower. However, I don't have our final June report from West Bay, our final audited report, which should include some rebates that would be helpful to that rate.
Very good.
It's the rebates that you think will help keep that rate lower? That's what you're.
Right, because West Bay had done some restructuring with the way the pharmacy and the prescriptions work.
Yeah.
So basically removing some of the middlemen.
Yeah.
As we could. So those rebates are based on prior quarters, so it's a wait to get those figures from Blue Cross.
So let me ask you another question. What software program do you use for the budget?
So for the budget and for our accounting system, payroll as well, we use Munis.
Okay, so have you already have you already developed a new calendar for the 27 year where you're gonna roll over like raises and things of that nature?
So
it's been a long time since I've done this, 4 years, so I'm like.
So for the budget in the accounting system, what we do is first, all of the departments, all of the schools, they each update their site budgets.
Yeah.
Which are currently their Google Sheets in a Google Drive that they have access to. So they will update those documents and then I upload them into the accounting system. And then I will also prepare the personnel schedule. So all of the positions with the salaries, fringe benefits, any contractual increases or estimated contractual increases, also an estimated healthcare increase. And those positions will be reviewed at administrative meetings as we look to reallocate and see if there's any potential retirements, reductions, any requests. And then that is also uploaded into the accounting system.
Thank you.
So, and I do it that way because since we have that upload functionality, then it leaves very few people. Right now it's only myself. I will be showing a finance assistant so she can assist me in that. To not have too many hands in the accounting system when you're uploading and potentially overwriting something, so we maintain more control that way.
Very good.
So then with the budget, the budget is due to the town no later than Monday, February 23rd. So what we typically do is last year we had, I believe, 2 meetings in January and 3 or 4 in February where we review budget documents with the school committee. So each meeting we take a subset of those school budgets and department budgets. So one meeting we'll do elementary schools, another we might include technology, finance. And then at the final 2 meetings, we'll review the overall budget that's voted on by the school committee and then submitted to the town manager to go through the rest of the process through finance board, council. So my question for this committee, since now we have a finance subcommittee, in that budget process and the meetings are full school committee, is there anything additional that this subcommittee wants to be involved in that process at this point?
Speaking for myself, no.
I mean, I think we just have to wait and see what we need. The only thing I can really envision is that there's questions about a certain school budgetary process, department that maybe it doesn't concern the whole school committee. It's not like, but they want us to look at it closer. I mean, that's all I can see because, the budgets are pretty well presented. We do have time to go over them before and after. But I think if there's an issue that we want to go deeper into, I think that's what this committee would be well to do.
I thought the process last year was really smooth with not a lot of, issues, so.
No, generally, the finance department, on the school side has always worked, I mean, I shouldn't say always, but in my memory has always worked hard to make things as available to us and to the public as possible. And we've come a long way. I remember my first budget, it was a printout, and every printout had different numbers, so when they said, go to page 42, it was not necessarily your page 42, so you would have to check, and it made a little bit, we got to the answers, but it took longer.
So if there's nothing else on budget, the next item I did put on the list is policies. I know it was mentioned at the school committee, there are many policies that do need to be reviewed. And there are quite a few policies under, in particular, section 3000 business. Some that were adopted in 2007 and do not have a review or revision date after that. So what I would like to do is prepare any changes to those policies and bring them to this subcommittee first.
Yeah, makes sense,
for review and discussion.
before we go to the full committee.
Right, and just put it on the calendar, the full group.
Yeah.
And just to give an example, there is one, policy number 3030, budget implementation, monitoring and transfers. And really the policy just states that the school committee will receive quarterly financial reports and that we follow state law. So the reason why now, when the school committee receives budget transfers, we do it within categories. So that's why you'll see transfers for $300, $600. That's not written in policy anywhere, but ever since I've been here, that's been past practice. So I've continued with that. So I believe that is one policy I'd like to start with first, so we can tighten up and get a better handle on what the committee would like to see and vote on, and what is just a simple transfer that should be handled within the department with typically the superintendent approval.
That sounds good.
So is the current threshold?
There's not one.
Oh, okay.
It's between categories, so if you're transferring from supplies to technology, whether it's $10 or $10,000, it goes to the school committee.
definitely have it hammered out in writing what the policy is. If it's just, it sounds like it's very vague right now.
Right, which is why I've just been following past practice.
Yep.
Because even though it's not in policy, I'm following past practice until that policy is updated. Do that. So this will kind of coincide with next is meeting schedule. I don't know if we wanted to have regular meetings, how often those meetings should be. I know, like Mike said, during budget, if questions come up and the full committee would like the subcommittee to review, we could always add a meeting.
Well, you mentioned we should look at policies, right, to update them, so why don't we start doing that at the next meeting that we have? Is that okay? So since we meet on Wednesday and we have school committee meetings on Wednesday, we can do a tweener, you know, if that's okay with you guys?
Usually works, yeah.
For next month?
Yeah,
Well, next month would be pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, if you show us the policies you're looking to change ahead of time, obviously, open meeting act, all that, we have to do it here, but at least we'll have some idea what we're looking at changing. And
Yeah.
hopefully just hammer it out pretty quick.
Well, again, you knowing the law and knowing what needs to be changed if you want to, redline and add language that would conform to the new state, laws and regulations, and then bring it to us and we'll review it and then go to the committee, so.
Or what you're doing versus what's written in the older.
There's some that will be very simple. There may be a few that I may recommend that we no longer need the policy.
Okay.
And then others that will require more discussion, like involvement of budget transfers or anything of that nature. Right, so the subcommittee would like to meet monthly or?
I have no problem.
I think right now monthly makes sense. We don't know how much work we need and we can always add or subtract.
There you go.
But, when I was on the past policy committee, there was no set date and it seems like months would pass before a meeting. And then we'd have all these policies to look over.
Right,
Yeah.
and what tends to happen as you have staff turnover, other audits, other items come up, this is one of the items that usually falls on the back burner, so it'd be nice to start going through and getting these updated.
So do we usually meet first and third Wednesday for the full school committee?
Yes.
So we do like the second Wednesday of this?
So on the building subcommittee is the second and fourth,
Right.
if they meet twice a month.
So
That's why, so it's up to the subcommittee when you would like to meet. I just chose this date for the first meeting because it was the fifth Wednesday. I know everyone's used to
Yeah.
meeting on Wednesday
Yeah.
and everyone would be available.
Well, if we were to meet on the same night as building subcommittee, how early could you guys get here?
I mean,
We could do it before that.
4:30?
Oh, that early?
Yeah. On Wednesdays, yeah.
So if we did 5 o'clock and the other one started at 6, we should be fine.
how does that work with your schedule?
Yeah, I can leave a little early once a month. That's-
Yeah,
that's not a problem.
Wednesdays are good in those terms of, I just have to just turn off the computer and leave work and I'm here.
I just take my pajamas off if my clothes aren't coming
Well, me too.
in. Not
for work.
exactly, not exactly. Gives me more times to watch Felger and Maz in the afternoon.
So coming up, a couple of dates that are really of interest is, the first one is December 1st, is the date by which anybody who intends to retire at the end of this school year gives us early notice for budgeting purposes. So, we build the budget with assumptions around retirements and assumptions around which positions will have to be filled and which ones can be filled with some breakage involved because we get a cheaper replacement. But at this point, we don't even know who's actually retiring, so we'll have a better handle on that. And then on the 15th is the joint meeting between the school committee and the town council. Typically, not a whole lot happens at that meeting, but it's on the calendar and required by charter. hopefully we'll be able to give them a sense of what we're looking at. We also expect to be able to share some, good news in terms of performance outcomes with them that night. So hopefully that will help ease the skids a bit. But those are the 2 dates coming up before the holidays, really, right? Well, on your submission Friday.
Yes.
So do you want to meet in November? Do you want, because November's in 3 days, or do you want to push off to the, say, between the meetings that we have on Wednesday, December 10th? Is that too late? I'm doing between meetings, that's what I'm saying, between school committee meetings.
I don't know why that would be too late. That sounds good.
Also, I'm not here on November 19th.
I'm just saying, November, we get 2 meetings in November, correct?
Yep.
And it's the holiday, so the long weekend, so if the 10th works, and what are we saying, 5?
5 works for me.
Joe?
December 10th at 5.
And again, listen, you guys work during the day and have full schedules, and you guys work too. I don't work, so.
Yeah, rub it in.
Yeah, I know, listen, 47 years I did, so, and now I'm
Put
doing
in his
this.
time, he's out on time, sir.
Yeah, so, yeah, I did my probation.
That's a little hike down here from Cranston, so I just need, I can get here at 5 o'clock, I just have to leave work a little bit early. But I can do that once a month, that's not a problem.
Okay, 10th, we all good?
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Capo, all right, 5 o'clock, finance. And again, the primary we'll be looking at, you'll have a little bit better understanding of where we are on everything in terms of the retirements, and we're going to look at policies too. So, I look at it and say, based on you and your staff's expertise, looking at policies, what conforms to the law, just, have someone redline it or, give us an idea of where you're going with it.
Sure, yeah.
Then we'll take it to once we do that, we'll take them to the full committee. God, I hate being in charge.
You do it very well.
We'll start with that and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do for January after we get through that meeting, or do you wanna do January now? Is that pushing it? Which means I have to take out my new calendar.
The second Wednesday in January, so 14th.
The 14th.
I don't even have my school committee meetings in for the next year, so. Because what the school committee meeting would be on,
School committee would be January 7th and January 21st.
all right, so we can do in between the Wednesday, the 14th, does that work?
Sure, we could try and get in the habit of saying the second Wednesday of the month.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 o'clock.
And would it be helpful for the subcommittee if just like for the school committee for the budget, that we create a Google folder and have the meeting dates and have the information
Yeah, I think that would be good.
in one place rather than me emailing and passing out? We can do that as
Right.
well, but also to just house it in one place.
Yeah, that'd be good.
The meeting. At this point, were there any potential other future agenda items that you'd like to see on December or January?
Not yet.
I'm just thinking, you're keeping an eye on healthcare, and you're gonna know what the facts are, you're gonna know what the retirements are going to be and so forth, so, if there's any updates on that we just, discuss it then.
And what we could do also at a future monthly meeting is have an agenda topic just on healthcare
Okay.
to go over how it works for the district, because we are partially self-insured, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is different.
And while I've been on the committee for just about a year, I, know the difference in PPO and all of that, whatever you have, so that would be great. Anything else?
I don't think so.
I think we're good.
Can we call this meeting to adjournment? I have a motion.
So moved.
Second?
So all in favor?
Aye.